Morning, guys. Mark Fresh, Protect Dog Training, and Bruno. Bruno, yep, come on. Up. Good boy. Plots. Good, that's my boy. Sits. Yes, sits. Good. Good. Yep. All right, so every day you come out, you kind of try to figure out what you're going to do with him, where he was at yesterday. I was working with that cone yesterday, so we're going to do the same thing. Keep up the same behaviors. I haven't done enough rear end awareness with him like I normally with my Malleys. Bruno. Good. Now, he ate a good meal this morning. I can't rob him of a meal every morning. So yesterday I was going to go home and feed him, and I forgot. So he only got his one meal a day. So I wanted to make sure. So I fed him his first meal this morning. So, Bruno, that's enough. Good. There you go. Good. Good. Yep. Yes. Good boy. Good. All right. Good. Good. Come on. Good. Yes. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good boy. Nope. Bruno. Good. Hey, place. Good boy. Good. Who's? Now he's into the ball pretty good this morning, so I'm probably just going to go to ball work and go back to my normal that I've been working on, which is that the ball, huh? The ball, huh? The ball. Yeah, good boy. Foos. Nope. Foos. Foos. Let's see, I'm probing again, right? I'm seeing if he doesn't understand it well enough to be able to spin to my side. Yep, come on. Good boy, good. All right, let me get flowing here. Bruno, you ready, ready? You ready, ready? Good boy. You ready, ready? Good. Sits. Good. Ready? Good boy, Bruno. Here. Good, good. Bruno. Yes. Good boy. Good boy, good. That's my boy, good. Get him a little high on the ball. Start working on it. Bruno, out. Yes. Good boy, good. There you go. Good. Bruno, out. Good. Good. Foos. Good, good, nope. Good, good, good. That's my boy, good, nope, nope. And what I don't want is him coming up for a double hop, so it's all about his drive states. Good boy, good, there you go. Good, good boy, good, good. Yes, good boy, good. So that's got to be smoothed out and get him doing better. It's a matter of just basically robbing him of food certain times, bring up that food want, and then use your food for your other stuff that you're trying to do for your focused heel work. Out. Good. Yeah, good boy. And then I just realized I was going through my Rolodex last night and kind of thinking about what he's got, what he doesn't. Bruno, Platz. He doesn't have that hinge back down really ingrained that well. So that's another one that they want to do in trial and competition, right? Seats. Good. Yeah. Good, good. That's my boy. Good. Bruno. Good boy. Good, good. Good boy. Now, should I start teaching him the finish? I don't know. I've got so many little things I want to do with him. Main thing is this cone and the charging the collar and charging the cone, all that good stuff so that he gets a higher drive state. So we want to build drives, what we're up to. Good. Good boy. Good. You ready? Ready? Are you? Are you ready? Ready? Good boy. Good. Yeah. Good boy. Good. That's my boy. Who's? No. No. Good. Bruno. Foos. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good. That's my boy. Good. Good. Yeah. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good boy. Good. All right, Bruno. Good. Bruno. First. Good boy. There you go. Good boy. Why I'm having such a hard time with that word. How many times have I heard it? Sending the dog out. Verras, I think is what it is. Out. Platz. Good. As you can tell, I don't claim to be a Schutzen expert, but just enough to Platz. Be dangerous, right? Good boy. Good. Boos. Yes. Good boy. Good. That's my boy. Good. There you go. Good boy. Bruno, out. Out. Good. Yeah. Good. Good. Bleib. Good. That's not the cue, dummy. Good. Seats. Bleib. Good. Bruno. Boos. Good boy. Good, good. Bruno. Yes. Good boy, good. That's my boy, good. Good boy, good. Bruno, out, good, good. I want to keep the barking up so that he keeps going after this in the right way. Come on, let's go. Yeah, good boy, good. Good boy. Come on, good. Yeah. Good, good. That's my boy, good. Good, good. Good boy, good, good. That's the way I'm going to face it so that I can get the barking in. Good. Because that brings up the excitement in the drive states, right? Bruno, pass off. Pass off. Pass off. Yes, good boy, good. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. It's my boy. And start asking him to bark. Get that. Out. Good. Push. Good. Bleib. Good, good. That's my boy. Good. Good boy, Bruno. Good. Bruno, you look good, good. Bruno, pass out. Oh, pass out. Pass out. Pass out. Pass out. Yes, good boy, good. He's not centered on it, but I'm not too worried about it. Good. Good boy. I'm just mainly so I get the bark. He knows what's coming. And then I've got the pinch on him, so when I tapped him with a pinch, he came back. So I'm going to put him on the flat. Out. Good. Nope. Now, because he's been so well conditioned as far as the things that I've already got in the bank, there's a lot of things I don't have in the bank and really smoothed out yet, but there's a lot of things that are. The flat collar is more apropos for him pulling and getting opposition reflex, right? Bleib. Good. Good boy, Bruno. Look. Good. That's my boy. Good. Bruno. Pass out. Good boy. Good. Pass out. Pass out. Good boy. Good. Good. Pass out. Good. Pass out. Yes. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good boy. Good. All right. So now this would be even better, and this is the way you want it to flow, is you got to get that second person dragging it off of there, right? Dragging it, getting that drive up so he thinks it's going to go away from him. And that drive state will come way up. Out. Out. Good. Boost. Good. Good, good. There you go. Good boy, good. Yeah. Yes, good boy, good. Good boy, Bruno. Good boy, Bruno. Good boy, good. Good. Bruno, out. Yes, good boy, good. There you go. Good. Bruno, out. Yes, good boy, good. And then we're going to cap him. Out. Good. Nope. Seats. Platz. Get it. And we want that solid down in front. It's the pattern set that I've got going right now, right? And then over his head to throw the ball. Good. Bruno, out. Platz. Get it. Good. So he starts anticipating each one of these pieces of the puzzle. That's going to bring up drive too. The anticipation itself is what brings drive up, right? Because he knows it's coming, right? Good. Out. Good. Platz. Good, Platz, good. Get it. Come on, Bruno, come on. Good. Good boy, Bruno. Bruno, out. Platz. Get it. Hop. Go, boy, Bruno. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Go, boy, Bruno. So I forgot to bring out the fur saver, and I was watching back some of my videos, and I said fur collar. It's the fur saver is the name of it. Out, or a French choke is the other name of it. Good, they call it either. And then what else? My fur on is wrong. Sending the dog down the Ferrasci or Furon or whatever the hell the word is. I'll get it this weekend when I'm talking to my buddy. We'll start kind of putting it together. Good. Main thing is to know where you're going, right? And what you're doing. So he needs better work on the hinge back down. Yep. If he was going to get competing, these are the things that somebody would want to work with him on. Good boy. Bruno. Good. All right. Let's try the come and the finish and more of my reward placement. So let's do that. Yep. Come. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good. Go off the screen a little bit. Good. Bleib. Good. Bruno. Good. And I'm going to keep doing the same thing here so I get that behavior of sitting when he comes in. And then every now and then I'll mix it up with throwing it between my legs to keep the speed up. Good. Bruno. Here. Yes. Good boy. Good. Okay, and then I'm going to have to fade those lures. In other words, you're basically luring the dog in with body language. Out, out. And anything you do like that, the dog's going to get conditioned on, and then you need to fade it. So it's always a lot of work to fade things, right? Bruno, here. Nope, yeah. And then what you ask for is what you're going to get. So you need to be consistent with it. I want him closer. What I like more than anything else is his genetic predisposition to the work. Anybody that gets him is going to be able to take him to the moon. He's got so much in there. Good. Bruno? Yes. Good boy. Good. He needs a high caliber person that really can get to the podium because he's that type of dog. Good. But who knows what's going to happen? Out. You out. Good. Boos. Yes. Good boy. Good. There you go. So I'm kind of just being consistent with my routines, right? Out, that he already knows. Out, good. Let's get it. Keep up the speed on the down and keep asking him to do it right. So you'll hear me saying no and not giving it to him. You're basically going right back to robbing him of what he wants. Because what he's after is to get that ball. Good boy, good, yeah, Babas. What is that, Babas? Good boy. Out. Out. Platz. Get it. All right. So you come back to your little spots that are really consistent with how you've built it. Getting it down and then going out over his head. And then that is what gives the dog confidence, knowing what's going to happen ahead of time. And reduces your confusion. Good. There you go. Bruno out. Good. Platz. Good. Nope. Good. Boos. Good. Yes. Good boy. Good. So we're basically concentrating on our little spots today of conditioned responses that we've already got built in, reaffirming it, right? Seats. Platz. Get it. And that's going to give the dog a lot of confidence and enjoyment because he's used to this. They get into the patterns and routine like we all do. Good boy. Good. Good. Yeah, good boy. Good. All right. Good boy. Good. Bruno out. Good. Bruno. Good. Blind. Good. And then back to this one, right? We keep doing the puzzle pieces so he draws confidence from that and you can start really putting it all together as you go. Bruno. Pass out. Good. Pass out. Yes. Good boy. Good. And notice he's kind of half lackadaisical with it, right? So that's going to change when he thinks that ball is going to disappear on him because somebody's yanking the ball off of the cone and making him go through drive by chasing it around the field, right? That's what we're going to do this weekend when I get some help from my buddy. Hoo-hoo. I just saw pearly whites and teeth. All right, out. Good, Aussie. Our seats. The reason I do that, guys, I've got another dog that I'm working in French, and I sit there and work with him for 20, 30 minutes, come back to this one, and I'm right, my brain is just not going to flow between the two of them because I do so many. And I've got my own language I use, bastardize is what I call it. So I've got German commands, French commands, all kinds of mix and a potpourri because I don't compete. Bruno, Platz. Get it. Now in trials, I don't know if you could say the dog's name first, but it's not going to matter because he's going to end up replying anyway because you're going to stand there and the picture is going to be there and he knows what's coming next, right? Remember, in IGP and Schutzen is a very patternized sport. Everything's very consistent and precise with their patterns. And when they build the behaviors, it's all about that. And then the dog, because he's genetically been bred for Schutzen, this dog's a high-class Schutzen genetics. He's predisposed for it. So he learns that way, pattern, routine. Out. No. Platz. Good. Okay, let's try my come. Probably off screen over there. It's always hard. I wish I had somebody filming me, but oh well. Okay, so let's do this. So I get that. All right. We're going to be calling him into a come on this. Bruno, here. Good boy, good. Yes, good boy, good. There you go, good boy. All right, good boy, Bruno, good. Bruno, out. Patterns of 2s and 3s, so we're going to go right back to that again. Good boy, good. Yes. Good, yes, good boy, good. Good boy, Bruno. Good boy, Bruno. Good boy. All right, out. Good. Nope. Good boy. Oh, yeah, foos. Good boy. Right back to my French again. Damn it. Good boy. Good. Good. Bleib. Good. Good boy. Bruno. Seats. No. He got up. So I'm going to take him back. I want to take this leash off him because I want to do a throw between my legs. Good. Because this is what you got to do. You got to go back and forth and be intermittent with it, back and forth, and mix things up until he doesn't know what he's supposed to do and he has the other. If I do a sit every time, it's going to slow him down. So I've got to throw it between my legs to keep the speed up, and then can keep mixing that up until he finally smooth out the whole behavior that you want, which is, what do you want? What's your criteria? I want a dog that flies into me, comes into a sit so fast and sits so quick that he burns his rear end, all right? And then finish it off. So let's see how he does with this. I'm going to throw this one between my legs. That's why I got rid of the leash. Good. Bruno. Here. Yeah. Good boy. Good. Last second move. He's going to read your body language. He's, whether you realize it or not, there's all kinds of subtle things that you do and you don't even know you're doing them. So with practice, we can kind of hide that from the dog. Out. But it's very prone. Well, there's a lot of out stories and working dogs and on trial fields and things where the person would have a problem with the dog breaking and coming back into him with just body language. The person would take a little smirk or do something just subtle, and the dog see it and he breaks and runs in because every time you do your come, you're doing that and you don't even realize it, right? Out, and that's why you see me huffing. When I do this, Bruno, out. No, good. Yeah, good. Seats. When I go back here and I take a deep breath and I stand in a certain posture, I'm trying to get the dog set up in a way that he doesn't pay attention to any of that body language, that he waits for the command. But there's a reason that I'm doing these huffs. Okay, Bruno. Here. Yeah, good boy, good. Good boy. Good boy, Bruno. Good boy, Bruno. Good. There you go. Good. Bruno, out. Platz. Good. Bruno. Here. Yes, good boy, good. Now that's definitely telegraphing. I did it on purpose to get him to sit. So then I'm gonna have to fade that, right? At first it's a crutch in a way because you're pulling it up to get him to sit. And so you gotta try to get him to understand that's what you want. Good boy, good. Bruno, out. Good, bleib. Good boy, good. And this one will go between the legs. Bruno. Nope, see how when I huffed? Good, I don't know if you can see him. I hope you can. Bruno. Here. Yeah. Good boy, Bruno. Good boy, Bruno, good. Good. All right, pretty much it, guys. I'm just, as usual, kind of putting it together. I've got to get out to the Schutzen Club this weekend to my buddy in Menifee and get him to help me with that drive that I need off the cone. And I should have brought the collar out this morning and said, "You ready, right when I started," and just put it on him and then started working. And the excitement of just working would be a cue that would start the process. But we're going to take it up even higher with another method. We might film it this weekend so you get to see this. We're going to be giving the dog ignition. And again, keep in mind, nothing I get and nothing I do is a secret. It's kind of like just recently for you guys that are in the dog world. Let me spin this and I'll talk to you guys a little bit. you realize a lot of you guys are online, right? You're on Facebook or you're wherever we're at. And there's a trainer by the name of Justin Rigney with another law enforcement basically background. Very well-known trainer. Everybody knows him. And Eric Good is another trainer. And they came out with a process in a pattern training for using a fence line to get the dog more intense, because dogs will bark real heavy and really a lot of emotion when they're aggression behind the fence, which we call it boundary, right? The dog's on the other side of that boundary and he's going to be a lot more aggressive. That's why dogs hit fences. They cover your territory, they hit those fences. You have somebody that walks by every day, that dog will hit them with a and just really show a lot of aggression as the person walks down the road. I mean, this is part of the dog's instincts. We've bred for that, right? And so they've taken that fence and applied it towards what they need in law enforcement circles and where they're doing their little scenarios and stuff, seminars and all that. And they're bringing this whole thing into the law enforcement aspect of things because they're doing a lot of law enforcement seminars. And it's very applicable, but it's old school by virtue of this stuff has been done again and again over the years by all kinds of people. And the one that started the fence line was Dildai. And everybody knows that name because he's written a book on Schutzen and very well-respected old man that started some of this stuff. He's the one that started using, he used to use a whole hot dog. And he would kind of feed the dog and the dog would chew off the hot dog. And he used that as food. And it was the first time that a lot of us saw food being used for the work. And everybody was anti back then because all we were doing was yanking on the dogs, right? And so it was a lot of transition in getting these people to accept the things, like a clicker, same thing. We were so anti when it first started, it wasn't even funny. There was so much heat and people would badmouth it and go after it because they didn't believe in the clicker. Now everybody's using the clicker, right? So they didn't invent the wheel. And none of us trainers ever have. We usually just steal things from all kinds of places and then call it our own. I do it all the time myself, right? There's nothing that hasn't been done before. And very rarely have I ever seen something that hasn't been done. There are some things that pop up. The flex pole, I think, was Bart Ballone that invented that, and that flex pole is a great tool. We're going to be using that this weekend. So there are some things that pop up that are original, but for the most part, they're a derivative or they're an offshoot of, and so what they've done with that whole program with their fence line and going out there, that they got jumped. This is what happened last week. A bunch of guys, oh yeah, nobody, and like they said they invented. They never said they invented it. They just accented the positive attributes of what that fence is going to do, right? And then they started using it for their application, which is basically to get the dog to be less wound up and not wanting to stop barking and everything, and understanding he's got to wait and then he gets his bite with a marker, right? Yes, and then they give him his bite, right? And then also they put a bunch of guys behind the fence in suits where the dog usually would never be able to do that in the old days. You couldn't walk by it. The dog would see a suit and he'd go nuts. That's in law enforcement circles. So there's a lot of things that we do in training and in sport and stuff that law enforcement is slowly starting to learn. One of those things is a clicker, right? And marker training, which is no, good, and yes, everything you see me doing, which came from Michael Ellis, which came from a lot of other people, and it's grown, it's evolved, right? Evolution is a great thing in dog training. We've evolved it, we've made it better, we started to accent it because people like Justin Rigney and Eric, where they're accenting this. And then that education goes to law enforcement. And now pretty soon they start to use that tool and that scenario-based pattern set that they're using to get the dog to be better at his job overall, right? So they put a lot of guys and they start yelling, hey, you better come out, you know what I mean? Because that's what's happening in law enforcement. They're giving the suspect direction. There's all kinds of noise and activity going on, flashbangs. They've got to put it all on the dog. They got to, what they call, inoculate the dogs and get them used to all of this stuff, right? So that's why they're using it. Right? But nobody's invented the wheel. They never claimed that they invented it, you know, but people are so jealous, the online negativity and people wanting to jump on people, and it's ridiculous. It's the online crap. And this stuff's been going on since the internet started, right? And how do I know that? I was one of the first people on the internet going after dog stuff. I created a mailing list. Back then, that's what we had, was a mailing list called Protection Dogs L. And I ran that mailing list for 5 or 6 years before I handed it off to somebody. I had life coming at me and I ended up falling out and gave it away to somebody else to run. And then they ran it for a while and then it finally went downhill and it's no longer, I don't even know if she's around anymore, the person that I handed it off to, but it was called Protection Dogs L. And then that's right around when Leoberg showed up what the heck's his name? I can't think of it right now. But and then he showed up and started getting in, and there was a lot of, I wasn't online at the time. I'd fallen offline, and I was not online and doing my thing as normal. And so I heard all kinds of things that happened in politics because of the internet. People learned to hate each other. I mean, they hated him. There was a lot of people that did not like this man at all, and that were in law enforcement, didn't like him. And he ended up building this castle and built his whole thing, got all kinds of his equipment sales and all that. Because it was like me, I reacted to it too, because I was there first and I knew what was happening. I had the vision, but I didn't have the ability and the skill to do the job as far as pulling off the electronic part of it, the aspect of what you have to do to create an online presence. You know what I mean? I never have. I've always needed, you know, even to this day, you see me with a tripod with nobody else. You know, these kids nowadays, they got a whole crew of people filming everything and getting everything spot. They put music with it and they do all their filming stuff, and it's an amazing thing. And it's very cool. I envy it. I can't deny that, right? But you're not going to see me, you know, going out and dogging on them to the point where it becomes you know, I'm not going to wear that on my shoulder, right? And own it in that way. But so I've been around for a lot of years doing my things, but that's kind of my history, where I go back all the way to the internet in that regards, right? But the internet never changes. They're weak-minded people. Listen to how Justin covers it sometimes. He blocks them. You know, they always want to come at him and act big, and they always go after the biggest guy in the room. Keyboard warriors. They couldn't train their way out of a paper bag because that's their whole life is the internet, right? So they want to jack their jaw and make all these claims and come after people for things, but we all know and down deep that they couldn't train their way out of a paper bag, right? So, and I just do my thing because I love educating people, and I like to, and this is kind of how I promote my business. My customers get to follow their videos, and these are their dogs most of the time, right? So it is what it is. All right, I'll let you guys go. Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training, signing off with Bruno, who's chewing on that ball, and I shouldn't let him do that. Shame on me. All right, Bruno, come here. Good boy. Good. Yeah, good boy. You're okay. Good boy. Good. There you go. All right, come on. All right, Bruno, out. Good boy. Good. Hup. Platz. Bleiben. Good. All right, he's still available, guys. I'm looking for somebody that wants to pop up and get him. I want to get him a good home and hopefully a good working dog home. Talk to you later.